Good day, dear people. So today I'm actually back at my old family home for the first time in well over a year. And hello, Pops. You gonna come say hello? Come on in. And like many sons and daughters, when I returned home, I was presented with a list of jobs that had been slowly building up. Most of those jobs aren't of any interest at all to everyone watching, and probably to myself either. Sorry, Mum. But one of them is potentially very interesting and has something to do with this lovely mature pond that's been in this garden for well over 10 years now. Now, this tiny bit of raised flower bed is actually going to be the new bug paradise. Once the pond's been dug and given 2 or 3 years of maturing, it should be absolutely bursting with life because of all the native plants that we're going to be using. And given that it's raised, it should provide some really interesting and unique angles for macro photography, which I'm really excited about. Now obviously it's a bit of a waiting game, but in the meantime, all that's left to do is get digging.
I think I'm here for encouragement. Great job. Dig deeper.
A minute ago she said, there is something quite nice about watching someone work.
There so is. You should try it, it's so relaxing. It is so relaxing.
Has begun. What do you think?
I think it's amazing. I was just saying that I feel quite emotional because I'm really, really passionate about rewilding and doing my bit, and this should really help. Let's get it all planted. Next we've got to find some native plants, which is easier said than done. Native water plants are not easy to track down.
My mum raises a good point. They were disappointingly hard to get hold of, though we did manage to find a specialist aquatic shop about an hour and a half away that listed a fair few on their website. So today is plant gathering day, and we've come to a specialist aquatic store that looks, to be honest, really impressive. And we're looking at all the little pond features first. But we're here because they do the most native pond plants.
Yeah, and we only want natives.
And Mum's quite excited about it. And what did you say, you've been up all night?
I've been planning it, yeah. I've been looking up native plants and planning where they're going to go, so I hope they've got plenty good. If not.
So we're just looking at all the ponds first, and then we're going to head straight to the...
Oh, that's funny photo in the shark thing. Has bitten me. Oh no, I've been eaten by a shark.
So, despite the unexpected peril, we did manage to find a small native section, though it appears they were defining the term very loosely, as we spotted European variants and cultivated colour varieties mixed in with the natural British plants. Thankfully, with the help of some clever apps, we were able to find a lovely selection of truly native, delicate-looking pond plants, perfect for the tiny wildlife oasis, that also fitted Mum's creative vision, of course.
Oh, there's a pink one! There's a pink one! Look at that one, it's native.
Though as frustrating as this is, I don't really want to name and shame this particular place, as I found this to be the case wherever we looked, and can even recall the mislabeling of wildflowers and seed packets or mixes being an issue when I was studying countryside management nearly 10 years ago. But before my mum could create her dream pond by putting them exactly where she had imagined, I had some last minute bits of prep to do. I trimmed the edge of the pond liner and buried it in the surrounding soil, making sure that there were plenty of big folds below the waterline. These are brilliant hiding spots for wildlife such as frogs and newts, which we will be keeping our fingers crossed for. Once that was all done though, it was time for the final verdict.
Happy with it? Can't speak.
out, it was just a case of planting the little bog garden I'd created at the back of the pond. Marginal vegetation is so important for ponds. It provides shelter for invertebrates, great structural diversity, and can provide safe routes in and out of the water for amphibians and anything that's unlucky enough to fall in. I estimated it would take about 2 or 3 years for the pond to fully mature, by which time the ugly liner and bare soil would be hidden by all the plant growth, and hopefully a thriving mini ecosystem would have developed. Though in that time, at least there'd still be plenty of things to capture their interest as they watched the pond grow and develop. I revisited the pond just 1 year later, and at this point I realised I never made it clear why we were so excited about a native wildlife pond. Well, it's no secret that nature really isn't doing great at the moment, with freshwater habitats like rivers, lakes and ponds being no exception, and only making up 3% of the UK. So if we can provide a little watery oasis of plants that our wildlife has evolved to coexist with, or even depend on, free from pollution or dominating invasive species, then who knows what it may attract and what surprises it may hold, no matter how small they may seem. As you can tell, this pond has matured incredibly quickly over the past year. Other than 1 or 2 invasives that seem to have appeared out of nowhere that periodically need removing, this pond has been a prime example of just how quickly nature can take hold, especially with native species. I caught this late in the summer, and so most of the invertebrates had disappeared by then, but I shall be returning next year to take full advantage of this macro photography paradise. As always, a special thank you to my patrons for supporting these videos and helping to make them possible. Please consider sharing this video with friends or giving it a thumbs up. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. What are you doing?
Seeing when you're getting shot. What?
You're in shot.
Quick, let's do this quick.